Welcome to Sipping on Excellence. This is Coach KJ, and I'm here with my man, my dude, the Doc.
And this is where we will be discussing the exceptional that is absolutely attainable. My friends, here's to living that extraordinary life.
Cheers.
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 Oh, Captain Paramount over there.
Cheers to the good friends.
Our videographer, let's hope he gets this shit right this time.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Jeez.
Jeez Louise. Hey.
Y'all want to know why we've been slacking on videos?
Because the struggle's been real.
The struggle's been real.
You're like, look at the post this week. What are they doing? What are they talking about?
This is what happens when you have a busted phone that was taking great video. Then you get a new phone and we can't figure it out. New ain't always better, y'all.
New is not always better. New is not always better.
Right.
What's going on, Doc?
Oh, man. Let's welcome everybody to another episode of Sippin' on Excellence.
Sipping on excellence. We're going to be sipping on a good drink today,
yes,
too.
Yes, we are. Dude, this is, we're doing good things right now, man. We are doing good things. Conversations, getting a lot of feedback from the conversations.
Because we feeding them.
And a lot of people now, which is cool, are reaching out saying what they want to hear. And for some reason, people want to hear us talk more about this man-woman thing.
That thing
we're gonna be
of man, woman, and life.
Yeah, so we're going to start sprinkling in a little bit more of that stuff for y'all. So
I think we're going to be doing more than sprinkling.
Yeah, we're going to be bringing it at you because this whole podcast is a two-dude perspective. Somebody asked me yesterday, well, why don't you talk about medicine? I was like, because I get paid to talk about medicine at my job.
Yeah. Yeah.
I was like, you want to know about your health? You come to my office.
Yeah.
You want to know about life?
Yeah.
We talk here.
I mean, and the little we do talk about fitness, it's more in the wellness of the mind versus fitness as far as you need to do this many sets, this many reps. Look, man, you want that, you hire me, you hire somebody to train you. You want to know about how it fits into your lifestyle and how it's going to fit into you becoming a better human being on this earth, then we'll talk.
Right.
Come holler at me on this show and about that. That's what we're going in. The same
exactly.
with you.
Right.
Yeah, your back is jacked up.
Okay, we'll tell you. Your back hurts. You're doing some things wrong.
Yeah, exactly.
That's
it.
Do some lifestyle changes.
Yeah, exactly. You know what you doing right now ain't working.
Clearly, because your back hurts. Exactly. And that's all we're talking about here, man. That's all we're doing is trying to give you lifestyle goals, excellent tips, things to sip on to just make your life a little bit better. And by us talking about it, it makes our life a little better.
I think even especially with this whole idea of AI and our world going to AI and AI, just allowing us to start thinking a little bit more critically as human beings, being adults and listening and hearing things versus just showing up and hopefully somebody else will give you the information. Something else will give me the information.
What do you think AI is going to be missing? And is why AI will never be able to replace us.
Feeling.
Yeah, that human connection.
Human connection. Man.
And people say, what is that? The human connection is just that. Mm-hmm. AI can't feel. Mm-hmm. AI is not going to listen. AI will hear.
And
regurgitate, and give you answers, but it won't feel. It will not have empathy. It cannot have sympathy.
No.
And so...
just watch the movie Megan.
Watch Terminator. Shit.
I know. Right? Terminator is AI.
Is now.
Yeah, exactly.
You know?
Yeah.
And so it's crazy that people think, remember when... Okay.
All right.
Remember when
him and his neighbors
banging on shit.
Right.
Remember,
as usual.
Remember when well, we won't remember it, but back in the day when cars used to be made by hand. Mm-hmm. And now you have robots that make the cars. Mm-hmm. You know, so they're like, people lost their jobs, this and the other. It's called progress, you know. Yes, there are going to be certain things that AI will kind of cause issues with. People asked, do I think AI would replace what I do? yes, you can put in a bunch of symptoms into a computer and it'll spit out a bunch of diagnoses with a radiology report and all of that. But artificial intelligence can't examine you. It can't touch you and say, oh, do you hurt here? Do you hurt there? No. And so there's certain aspects of our jobs that they won't be able to do. Can you have, for example, psychology, psychiatry? AI can't walk you through that process. It can't.
No.
Can it write your paper? Can it write a movie script?
Yeah.
Can it, can it write a joke for you? But AI can't. For example, I was listening to a talk show and they were talking about, this is on Kevin Hart's thing.
Okay.
And they were talking about AI and writing jokes and movie scripts. Yeah, they can write a joke, but it can't make the joke funny.
Right.
It can't write a joke and have timing. It can't tell you where to put it in a certain scenario that is going to be funny. So people are worried. Yes, it's going to take over a lot of shit, and that's why people are scared. And there was this, and we'll get into what's wrong with y'all, but there was a clip I saw where a dude was describing saying, look, the biggest fear is that the computers become smarter than us. And then what do you do then? Nobody knows.
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess the flip side of that is also the whole world of biohacking. Everybody's trying to figure out and assess ways to get more out of themselves. How much further brain capacity can we use?
And they want to figure out how to have their consciousness live on. Mm-hmm. As the body ages.
By the way, Black Mirror is coming back.
I haven't started watching it yet.
Oh boy, yeah, you need to check it out. Black Mirror is quite entertaining, and they're all different stories. It's different timelines. It's like the near future. It's like the near past, and how nothing is really related, but it's all interrelated in some capacity. Like one story might be 2 stories down,
right? And
it just flip flops. Oh yeah, man.
And you're not the first person to tell me, hey, you should watch this. Yeah. I'm starting to hear.
If you're interested in all this stuff, that's what we're talking about now.
Yeah,
you need to watch this, especially before the new season comes.
Okay, how many seasons have there been?
I think there's like 3.
Oh, so it shouldn't be too hard to catch up.
But they're very short. Like one season might have like 6 episodes.
Oh, okay.
The next season maybe 4. 3.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, they're not long. But
it's not like Suits where you had like 40 episodes one season.
Right.
I watched 32 episodes of season 3.
Yeah, because that was on regular network.
Yeah.
But all these news shows are like 6, 8, 10 episodes.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Dude, how was your week, man?
My week was good.
What'd you learn?
What did I learn this week? I learned how to heal. I learned how to see it, feel it, know what it is, and understanding that healing is a process. Yeah. Because I think we talked about this last week. Yeah. Which Lord knows when all these episodes will come out because we're just all over the place. But I got a cut on the hand, got stabbed in the foot with something on the street, having on flip flops,
having issues,
and chipped my tooth. I was just like, "Good God, man!"
Right, wasn't that?
And so I just learned that healing is a process, and but the thing is, we're always in a rush to try to heal. But I did a whole live about it. It's just like how the idea of healing and the body's natural process to heal and to move forward.
Yeah.
That's the way our brain works as well. If we just take the time to sit in the space, give it some air,
and
give it some, just to keep it clean around the area, but let the natural antibodies work and heal and pull it back together. My hand came back together.
Sort of.
Well, I should have got stitches.
I should have got stitches.
He looked at it,
I'm looking at it
look like healed lips.
That's going to leave a mark.
Yeah, whatever.
That's all right.
And my toe just started feeling better.
Dude, I feel you. I feel you about being a lame duck. That's how I was for the past week.
I know.
But I did learn that, dude, it's important to take care of yourself. And I have an ailment. I just keep pushing through. Nah, whatever. I'll muscle through and it'll get better. You know, having some back issues, go figure, right? And last week, coach was like, hey, man, you want me to do some body work on you and work it out? I was like, nah, man, I got this. Today, I was like, show enough. Today, I was like, show enough. I need you.
And immediately he was like, oh my God, I should have did this last week. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm hard-headed, man. Yeah. Do as I say, not as I do.
Right.
You know, kind of back surgeon of mine. Just terrible.
Bacchiotomy. This guy.
Oh, man. But, yeah, man, so it's good to sort of be on the other side of the crap I was going through last week, and then you know, I'm just feel like a new man.
Yeah.
Woo.
Yeah. I'm sure you are. Right. We'll just leave it there.
Yeah, for real. Woo. Anyhow, so yeah, we got a good show coming for y'all today, man. Before we get into what's wrong with y'all, let's get to this sip of the day because I want to just dive into that glass because I'm gonna need it.
I know it is pretty.
It sure is pretty.
Oh my goodness. So today we decided to go, well, you know, it's Cinco de Mayo, but also for me, we had one topic we were going to discuss, and we were talking about social drinks and what would be a good social because of the topic we were going to talk about. But we flipped the topic. We just kept a drink.
Yeah. And it works.
And we decided on a Cadillac Margarita. A Cadillac Margarita. You know what makes a Cadillac? It's got that smooth cognac in it.
It's got that Grand Marnier poured over the top.
Yeah, man. Not cognac. Yeah,
Grand Marnier. It's that adds that little.
Oh my God, it's a beautiful thing.
So y'all gonna want to make this, raise the glass and sip with us because we about to get after it today.
Yes, we are. Mm-hmm.
Cheers, brother.
Cheers.
Oh my God! Hold on, let me get. Just in case y'all was wondering, I'm about to get loose. I'm about to get loose.
No, I already forgot the topic we're talking about today.
That's all right. I didn't. As long as one of us knows, we can have a conversation.
Right. Well, you keep doing that. I'm gonna check on the video, make sure we still running.
Make sure we running. So, one of the things that I wanted to really toss at you guys is that let's get into the what's wrong with y'all.
All right.
One of the things that I wanted to talk about was we talk about this all the time. Catfishing. One of my friends who's I
don't know anything about that. I'm not.
One of my friends who Coach and I know very well. I just showed him a catfish on her account, and I just sent it to her. She's like, "I'm in Italy right now, and this shit's funny." I was like, "Yeah," but it's people coming at me trying to catfish me with my own friends. You know, it's like, dude. Stop.
Oh, wait a minute. That was on your account?
Somebody sent me a DM, basically mentioned me in a story asking for their help for something with her picture. And I'm like, really? Is that what you doing now?
Really?
Thank you, Kevin.
You know what? We might as well just start tagging Kevin in most of our conversations because it's always something comes up a line of his.
Right.
Every single time.
But one of the things that I want to bring up, so there's going to be a bunch of what's wrong with y'all. This one here, about the 3 high schools in random parts of the country that now have after-school Satan Club. And here's the funny thing. They interviewed the woman who's part of the Satanic Society who's starting these clubs, who says they're atheist, so they don't believe in God or the devil, but what they're doing is just started a club of free speech, blah, 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 whatever. So if that's what your club is doing and it's not revolving around Satan, why are you calling it the Satan Club?
Right.
And why are you starting this in schools? You know, well, there's other religious organizations that start, and I get that point. But kind of odd, right? Kind of a little bit scary.
It's not surprising.
But here's something that I saw that is rather, how do I put this? Rather sickening. So I saw a post where they were talking about how they found this little girl at the border, 8 years old.
Okay.
And this may be something old, but when they examined her, and treated her, they found 57 different specimens of DNA.
That's so sad.
An 8-year-old girl.
Right.
57 different specimens of DNA in this little girl. I mean, how sickening is that? And then somebody said this post that you'll euthanize a dog for attacking a child, but you let a pedophile run free. Let that sink in. It's America. Kind of crazy, right? There's no words. No. There's no words. No. But I thought that was something that 100% needed to be brought up, because I'm just like, are you kidding me?
That one makes my skin crawl. I'm not doing well.
Kind of crazy, right?
I'm not doing well.
Yeah.
No. That one bothers me a lot.
Yeah.
It's like when you watch certain TV shows, certain shows that just, you're like, no, I can't watch this. I don't like, unless it's a harsh revenge movie, women getting physically abused to I can't watch.
No.
There was one movie I saw, and it was actually a remake. I Spit on Your Grave, or something like that.
Okay.
And this woman was, she was a writer. She was she went to some cabin in the woods somewhere off, and that, someone gave her the keys or whatever. So she's there to write or whatever. And these guys and the sheriff in that town, small town, they decide, you know what? We're going to take care of this one right here. So they did, they just did the unmentionable. They tried to kill her.
Okay.
She she jumped off this bridge. But she was mangled. She just, they just ran through her. So time progressed. They're trying to find her.
Okay.
She literally made each and every one of them relive the way they did her.
Good for her.
So you know what? For me,
I'm for that.
I'm in.
I'm for that.
I'll watch that. I'll watch that all day long. But that first initial part of the movie was a struggle. But I can't do children, especially women and children. I can't watch it.
Crazy, right?
It's a lot for me.
Here's another interesting fun fact that's totally different from what we're talking about. Just another what's wrong with y'all.
It's one of the best ones.
I was watching this thing, and it was talking about, this guy was just talking about where money's being spent in this country. We've given $114 billion to Ukraine for this war. Mm-hmm. We've given $11 billion to the CDC. Mm-hmm. We've given like $9 billion for veterans. Mm-hmm. We've given, God, I forget the number, but it's like a low amount to education, all this stuff. But we've given, just this year alone, $114 billion to Ukraine. But yet, we can't do anything about homelessness. There's what? I forget how many people they say 30% of the population goes to bed hungry in the U.S. You have homeless veterans. You have, healthcare that can't be provided for people. But we gave $114 billion to a country that has nothing to do with us. But we can't take care of shit at home.
Nothing to do with that.
We have nothing to do with that.
No.
Nothing. And it's
all
interesting.
To prevent a level of communism.
And I'll tell you exactly what it says. $113 billion to the Ukraine. And he says, for reference, the entire budget of the EPA, $12 billion. Kind of crazy, right? The whole budget of the CDC is $11 billion. 50% of Americans in crisis. And basically he's saying it because he's like, if you look at the country as a whole, he's like 50% of Americans cannot put their hands on $1,000 if they need an emergency. That's more than half the country that don't have $1,000 access.
Yeah.
And the way that he talked about it, he's like, yeah, it's kind of a war on the poor. Yeah. Kind of crazy, right? Yeah. But this is what we prioritize, which is absolutely insane, you know? And it's things like that when you're like, this is crazy. And what we talked about earlier on our live is another What's Wrong with Y'all, canceling Mother's Day. You know? It's insane. Here's the craziest shit I've heard in a long time. There's this dude in Germany who's a cannibal. So cannibalism isn't illegal in Germany. Okay. If I heard this story correctly. This dude put out an ad and said, I'm looking to eat people if you want to be eaten. People responded. And one dude responded and said, I'm all in. He comes, they chop off his dick, his penis, cook it, they both eat it, and then dude proceeds to let him kill him, and he's got written consent, dismember him, and put him in the freezer and eat him at a later date.
Okay.
And here's the crazy part. Multiple people reached out to him saying they want to be eaten as well.
Okay.
So needless to say, he's in jail for life for murder. Right? Even though these people consented.
Oh.
Yeah. Do I need to tell you he's a white guy? Right. But
call a spade a spade.
Dude, but how crazy. I mean,
man, it doesn't matter.
People do some of the craziest shit.
You know what?
Who does that?
God bless him, man. 'Cause you know what? Whatever.
Who does that though, man? Oh,
I'm mad you brought that up.
No, here's the crazy one. The one I sent you about the mask?
No, I didn't see that one.
I'm gonna show you. What I'm showing is basically these dudes, these people who they're making masks that look like black people, and they're committing crimes, and not only masks, but they're like realistic masks. Even the arms and hands. So and they're committing crimes looking like black men.
Yeah. And you know all of us looked alike, so you know,
dude,
you fit the description. How many times have you ever fit the description?
Oh yeah. Mm-hmm. But dude, how crazy is that? Mm. This is the level where people are taking it, and we're saying we don't have a problem.
What problem?
It's
you know what? It gets to the point where, like, what problem? Is it really a problem? Because it's asinine. It's so asinine.
And then there's this guy that I saw, usually has interesting things to say, but he said something the other day, and I was like, okay, this is some bullshit. He said, the only people that complain about racism are poor people. And I was just like, I'm not poor, and I complain about racism.
Right.
Because he's like, racism shouldn't stop you from achieving your goal if you just want to achieve it and work hard. You'll find a way. Yeah, but racism makes me work a whole lot harder.
Yeah, exactly. Right.
And you being a white guy, racism, you can say that because it's never affected you.
Right.
So the fact that you're saying poor people, it's a poor people's problem. Yeah, because racism keeps them poor.
100%.
It's not the only thing that keeps them poor, but it's a huge part of it.
Right.
You know?
If you have to hit your head against the wall every single day because that's the only wall that you know.
It's crazy. Yeah. You know, and so it's just like, man, miss me with that bullshit. I've been wanting to say that. You know, for real. But, dude, let's get into today's topic.
Let's get into it because I sure forgot.
Yeah, so let's get into today's topic. What we want, thought we should really just kind of dive into is, can people change? Do they change?
Can people change? Do they change?
Should they change? And why
will they change?
Will they change? And why do they change?
If they do change.
Yes. And the reason why this subject came up is because I was talking at work, and we were talking about how you present yourself. And I gave remember the car analogy I gave you? Mm-hmm. I'm like, your dude, and I told this to him, and I was like, your dude buys a Ferrari. He sees you, and you're his Ferrari. You're like the most pristine work of art that he could ever think of. He buys this Ferrari, meaning he marries you. I'm not equating you to a thing, but dudes will understand what I'm talking about. And over time, instead of you becoming a vintage Ferrari with time, you become a Pinto. And those of you who don't know what a Pinto or a Gremlin is, hell, you become a Volt. You know? Basically, you either revert back to what you really are, or you turn into something that you weren't. And the argument that this person was having with me is that, because we were talking about how people change when they get married, both men and women. You know, sometimes they get comfortable and they're like, oh, I don't need to go to the gym anymore. Or people will, and one person was trying to tell me that, oh, I've had kids, and so that's why my body changed. I feel you. There's millions of people out there who still take care of themselves.
Yeah. And also you have to decipher, do they change or do they evolve?
Yeah.
There's a difference.
Oh, yeah.
You know?
And because one thing I was trying to get her to understand is that for men, physical attraction, you're the most physically appealing when we first meet you. That's what catches our eye. What makes us more attracted to you and love you is what you bring from a personality, intellectual, your heart, all of that.
Oh, 100%.
But when we first see you, we don't know none of that. So you're the sexiest thing ever when we see you. I'm like, we don't look at you and say, she's really nice. Maybe I'll be attracted to her one day. We look at you and say, she's fine than a mother. I hope she's nice. Right? Am I wrong? It's like, she's attractive as hell. I hope she's cool.
Right.
You know? Not, she's cool as shit. I hope she gets cute one day.
Right. I hope that pumpkin, turns into
a carriage.
Yeah.
You know? But it's true, right? And so this is what I was pointing at. And so we're going to always want what we married, knowing that we're both going to grow and evolve, but who we are shouldn't change.
No.
You know what I mean? And too often, and here's my theory, I think who we are never changes. I think we're too busy showing somebody who we're not. And when we get comfortable, we revert back to who we are.
Yeah.
And we're like, oh, shit, I don't like that
But
person.
the thing is, we revert back to the bottom barrel.
The bottom barrel of who we are. Yes.
Not digressing to who we are, but the bottom barrel. Interesting.
And so the question becomes, should you try to, not should we try to change, but more, can you change? I don't think you should change who you are. You should change how you respond to the person you're with. Who you are to the core, you're the same Kenny you were when you were 5. Who you are to the core is you. You've just grown, evolved, learned, but who you are genetically, who you are, your values inside are always going to be there.
Yeah.
You know, how you respond to the environment around you changes, but who you are to your core is the same person.
But let's think about what you just said. You said the environment, the things around you change. So let's think of change with a person as basically environmental. But a person, if they want to evolve, that's a whole different spectrum. You know what I mean? So like, if a person's ready to evolve, yes. But if they're trying to change, that's an outside perspective guiding them towards the direction they see they should be a part of, or they trying to fit in, or this is the way, unless if I don't, because she won't like me the same.
Yeah.
If I don't change.
Because think about the reason why. Men accept women for who they are. Women
Very much so.
accept men for who they think they can make them to be. You know, women always think they can change a man. Oh, I think I can make him a better man. I can do this. I can do. You're not changing him. He's going to grow and evolve on his own because you're in his life, but you're not the one changing him. Right. He's changing himself. So don't think, oh, I don't like this dude now, but I'm going to change him to what I want to be. Yeah, no. It's got nothing to do with you.
I think the most perfect example of that is Steve Harvey and his wife, Marjorie. Because Steve had the purpose, the passion for whatever it is he wanted to do, to get out there and to become better. Marjorie, when she came along after his divorce, after her divorce, they got back together because they dated back in the 80s. He became the person he is today because Marjorie was saying, okay, we need to smooth out these edges. We need to change you from this to an iPhone. We need to smooth you out.
But hey, there's a tell-all book about to come out that don't paint Marjorie in such a good light.
Oh, really?
Oh, Marjorie used to be for them streets.
Yeah, they both were.
Meaning her first dude was locked up for a long time for drug dealing. She got with her new dude and was taking his connects to get her new dude in the game.
Wow.
Before Steve.
Okay.
And they're saying that, and so the new dude, the old dude, her first dude is out of prison now. And he's about to do a tell-all, and they're like, oh, Steve Harvey may try to squash that. So it doesn't happen.
But you know what? Guess what? She's a G.
Yeah.
You know what? We can talk about that.
Oh,
she figured out how to. She said, "I got this one. That's on it. That's looking for his way, and he wants his way. So guess what? I'm gonna help him get his way. I just know what he needs to do to facilitate that.
It doesn't make her a bad person, but
there you go.
But I guarantee you, they're gonna try to spin it.
Of course. But you know what? I mean, looking from the outside in, I see that as a situation where he was looking to evolve and needed the extra direction to help him evolve.
Yeah.
As opposed to, I'm going to change you. I'm going to hold your hand and I'm going to pull you this way. Oh, okay. All right. You know, we talked about this the other day about permission.
Yes. It's just you can't expect to change someone.
No.
For example, there's a statement that always says, when a man tells you who he is, listen. And so I was having a conversation yesterday, and somebody's been with a dude for many years, and he told her up front, yeah, I'm not trying to get married.
But he was adamant about that.
He was adamant about it. And they're 15 years in now, and they don't live together and this stuff, and she's trying to sort of, what do I do? I'm like, you leave him alone. Either you accept where he is, because if you tell him I'm out if you don't, one of two things is going to happen. He's going to be like, fine, I'm out. Or he's going to be like, okay, I'm in, and he's going to be miserable, which is going to make you miserable because you forced him in a position he doesn't want to be in.
And both of you are being in a place of resentment.
Yeah, and so if he's not where you want him to be, go. It's that simple. You'll get over it. Go.
Yeah.
Because y'all are not on the same page. Another friend of mine, we're just talking, and, for example, I know a couple of couples that were married. They had their kids, dudes, had kids, got remarried. never wants more kids. The new wife wants kids. Makes it known from day one, I don't want kids and I don't want to be married again. So let's start with the I don't want to be married again thing. If a dude does not want to be married and he tells you I don't want to be married again, don't try to force him. If he's going to change his mind, allow him to grow into that, and don't try to say I'm willing to be without you if you don't go this way.
That's me.
Right. And that's why I was bringing this up, because a buddy of mine was like, I'm not trying to go there. And I feel you. And she's either going to understand that and accept that I can live my life with you without sign, especially some guys who've gone through nasty divorces, just don't want to set themselves up like that again. Yeah. And if you've both decided that kids are not in the future, or if you've both decided that you're too old to have kids at this point, you're just like, you know what, we're good. What purpose is us getting married in the eyes of the law? Well, there's no purpose to that. But she thinks she can change him. Another friend of mine, dude didn't want kids. Ends up having, because he already got kids, ends up having kids, ends up having a second kid that he didn't want. But now has kids and just like, but you're in it. You didn't put your foot down and say, I don't want kids. And so I think it's both the man and the woman's fault. It's the woman's fault for forcing his hand and trying to change him. It's the man's fault for not putting his foot down and for allowing it to appease her. Yeah. Because you'd rather appease her than lose her, but then you're unhappy and there's resentment. Yeah. Which is harder to live with? Resentment or her just leaving?
You're always, as a man, we talked about this earlier, you're always, as a man, going to be in a better position if you put your foot down of who you are. You will always be in a better position. Yeah. There is no, she's as much as, and there might be resentment to this as well. Yeah. But she's looking for you to be able to put your foot down and help.
She wants you to stick to your guns. Right. If you're easily persuadable, she's going to lose a little bit of respect for you. Yeah. Yeah. If she can change you, here's my thoughts. If a person can change you, they will eventually not respect you.
Correct.
I say that all the time, because if you are on purpose and you have your life where you want it to go, if this person that's coming along for the ride with you isn't if you're not pushing each other in towards each other's purpose, and they want to change your course direction, if they're able to do so, then they're going to look at you as weak. And eventually they're going to leave you because they can't respect you, or they'll live with you and take advantage of you. Either way. Yeah. And that goes both men and women.
Yeah. Well, think about it. A lot of people come to me as a coach. When they come to me, they want me to change something about them. I'm not here to change it. I'm here to provide you with information and thoughts that are going to lead you to your change that you need to find within yourself. People want me to push them in a direction. They want me to give them permission to do something. No, I'm going to give you I'm going to be your advocate for the behavior you need to start having to make those changes, whatever it is in your life.
And what people think they need to change who they are. They don't need to change who they are. They just need to change how they respond to the world around them. Yeah. That's it.
Because people believe they need to change who they are to be who they're not.
Yeah. It's true.
They need to change who they are to be who they're not. And they're missing the fact that they're missing being who they already are.
Yeah,
which is everything.
Right. And they need to figure out, number one, why they don't like who they are. What is it about themselves that they have an issue with? And then if I meet a woman and I don't like who she is as a person, why would I want to change her? Because what's going to happen? Yeah. She's going back to who she is. Mm-hmm. There's going to be little quirks and things that I'm like, all right, you got habits that you just need to break. But if it's a character flaw, you're not, and you may look at it as a character flaw. They just look at it as this is me. Right. If it's just this is me and you look at it as a character flaw, I'm not changing that. This is my character. This is who I am. Mm-hmm. I can change how I throw it at you, You know, I can kind of put a velvet glove over this steel fist when I punch you in the eye, but and I say that because I'm very blunt, and people always say the truth doesn't have to hurt. It just has to be true.
Right.
Well, sometimes the truth does hurt because a lot of times most people don't want to hear the truth.
That's the only time it really hurts.
Right, when you don't want to hear it. I can't help how you receive it. I can only help how I give it. You know? And so there's certain things that I can change my delivery, but I can't change the truth. I can change how I respond to you a little bit, but I can't change who I am. And a lot of women will think, oh, I can change a man. You ask any woman who's with a dude that they're questioning, well, I thought he would change.
You thought he would change, but in essence, you're saying you thought you would change him.
Like, for example.
That's the real truth.
Yeah, like, for example, you meet a dude who's married, in a relationship, whatever, and you're the side chick. He's never leaving his wife for you. He's going to leave his wife for other reasons and end up with you. But don't think that you're changing his nature. Just how you were a side chick, there may be somebody else at some point that will be a side chick, because that's just his nature. And you got to be okay with that.
Right.
You were okay with it when you were the side chick. Don't think you're going to change him. For example, as well with the dude, if your woman has a track record of running through dudes, you're not changing her.
No.
She's going to want to just change her ways on her own.
Based off of the opportunity you provided for her.
Exactly.
She may be, this is, let me not mess this one up.
And here's the funny part. I heard a woman say, in the dating game.
Uh-oh. Speak on it.
90% of women, 90+% of women, you ain't the only one.
What?
You think as a man in the dating world, I'm not talking about married. I'm talking about when you're dating a woman. 90+% of women will admit you ain't the only one. They're not going to admit it to you. They're just admitting to a survey that you ain't the only one.
Right.
But yet, if they're not the only one, they got issues. This is the wildest thing, right?
Which is funny because you think that it'd be
he's the player. He's this.
Yeah, no. The woman is a player.
The women are the master players. And we're going to do a podcast on that whole topic.
Play on. Yeah.
The master player.
Yeah.
Podcast topic. Okay. The master player.
Yeah. Damn.
Y'all remind us. But because we'll forget. It's a damn good cocktail. That's why we're going to forget.
Right.
But it's true. And so it's one of those things where you're not changing who she is. She's got to change herself, which her habits aren't who she is. It's just her habit. And you have to ask yourself, okay, maybe she's got daddy issues. Maybe she has issues where she was molested, blah, 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 whatever it may be that made her promiscuous. Or whatever it is. Maybe she's one of these new age Gen Zers who are like, if a man can do it, so can I. We talked about double standards a long time ago. That will always be a double standard. You know, people talk about body counts.
Do as they do.
Body counts don't matter. What's yours? I'm not telling. Then it matters.
Yeah.
You know? And it's one of those things where I know I'm not changing you. You're going to do what you do. You should want to change because of me. Not me changing you. You should change because of me. Like, if I love you as a man, but there's some things about me that just that rub you wrong, then I'm going to want to change that for you. Not change it because you're not thinking that you're going to change it. You can't change it. I have to change it. But a lot of people out there think, I'm going to change it and it's going to be better.
A lot of people doing too much expectation thinking on other people.
Like abusive relationships. If he beat his last girlfriend, you're not changing him. He might beat you too. You know,
Well,
he's
first
got to
of all,
want to change.
If you know that he beat his last
Why you in
girlfriend,
it?
why you in it?
Because he's a good guy. He's a good guy. He's gonna
he
be different.
worked on himself. He tried to fix.
He go to church now.
He fixed it himself.
Fixed it.
Fixed it.
He goes.
Exactly.
He go to church now. Yeah.
Or we can use that church as a
Crutch.
as a crutch facade, as
Some of the biggest sinners are in church.
the representative. That's the
Yeah.
one that comes and speaks for you.
Yes.
He shows up at the door when you come. When you come to meet somebody, meet that man or that woman, and that representative comes and speaks, said, "Hello, how are you? How's everything going?" Well, this is our resume. This is what we provide.
Right.
These are our services, love, affection, everything that you're looking for in a spouse or significant other.
And also if you think about this, we talked about love languages earlier, and people think, okay, this is my love language. I'm going to make him want that to be his love language. What if it's not? You're going to try to change him to like what you like instead of just you showing him the love in his language. That's like me falling in love with somebody who speaks Spanish and I don't speak Spanish, but I'm going to force them to understand what I love you means instead of me just telling them te amo.
Yeah.
It's
using love language is a great example. So, and I can use this, of course, because I'm married. Been married before, but
I'm not, never been. I'm speaking out of ignorance.
So
I read a book about it.
Learn Gary Chapman,
Right?
So understanding love languages the first time around, of course, had no idea. Second time around, understanding, but actually using the qualities of the book or of the knowledge of it.
Why I got flies in my
You
house?
got a gnat, my goodness. Any case, understanding that it's like, okay, if I know I have the power of the information,
Yeah.
I have to be the utilizer. I have to be the giver of the information.
Right.
I can't just say, okay, well, she doesn't know. Well, she needs to know this. I need to. No. Let me guide her into this process, because it's obvious that what happens is the information be received when it shows a level of commitment into giving the information over and over and over again without telling them. You need to, and I need to, this is how I receive information. This is how you receive information. This is how it's going to work. I say, okay, well, this is how I'm going to feed into her because I know what her love language is. Okay, now you need to understand that every once in a while I just need a little time. So because I feed into hers first,
Right.
so she can learn.
We spend too much time forcing what we want on somebody instead of taking a step back to receive what they want to give us. You know what I mean? Yeah. I want. And if you just take a moment, take a step back and just let me give you what I want to give you.
Feed them so you can get fed.
Exactly. But don't force feed them.
Don't force feed them because
what if they ain't hungry for what you bringing?
Yeah.
Just
They might choke up on everything you just gave them.
or you just tell them, "Hey, here's what I prepared for you. Are you ready to eat?"
Yeah.
No, let me know when you're hungry. That's it.
Yeah.
In the meantime, just if you let a man come around, just for example, if a man is not a big talker, he's not a big feeling sharer. Is that a word? If he's,
now.
He's not. I made it up. Fuck it. And so if he's not that dude who's vulnerable, sensitive, and all of that, you wanting him to be will never happen. He's going to just be like, I'm fine. And it's funny because as I was having this conversation, I was like, what if your dude all of a sudden started acting the way you wanted him to? You'd think something's wrong, and all of a sudden, you'd stop respecting him and stop liking him. And then you know what the answer I got was? You're right. Because he was too easily influenced. So you want to influence him, but then when your influence works, you don't respect him anymore.
Yeah. But
the mind of a woman.
Is it really influence him, or she's trying to force feed him what she wants him to eat?
Same thing.
Yeah.
Same.
Because I would think that the idea of influence is being able to provide the same level of information that hopefully that one day he might receive this differently versus saying you need to be.
Right.
As
She's
opposed
forcing
to not
him.
saying you need to be. She wouldn't say you need to be. This is how she is.
There's
This is
a
how she
subtle
presents
influence
it.
versus a forceful.
Okay.
So yeah, same thing. So the way you describe it is, I'm force feeding you. That's that forceful influence. Like,
Yeah.
you're gonna do gun to the head. Like, do this. The other one is, I'm gonna punish reward. Certain actions, which we'll get into in a later podcast, and hope I get the desired response. I'm gonna withhold sex to make you change and talk to me. Yeah, no, that's not how we're built. It's one of these things where you can't continue to force an agenda and expect the outcome to be different.
Right.
Because that's not how it works. That's not how men are built. And the reason why I keep bringing it back to men, because we're giving you guys the man's perspective on what you guys see. I can't give you a woman's perspective because, contrary to all the gender bending rules out there, I'm not a woman. Don't identify as one. I can only speak as what I am. I'm just saying,
Just a little bit.
And so it's one of those things where if you don't try to force feed me, let me see what your needs are. You can make your needs and wants known. That's all we need. And then we can say, you know what? Can we adapt? Not change, but can we adapt to your needs without neglecting our own?
I got one.
Yeah.
It's kind of the same thing that you just said, but
Code drunk, y'all.
I know. Man, I am feeling this one.
I just had to point it out because this is a great.
Yeah.
Y'all catching the fire today. We might go on and on. So we're gonna keep this going until we both had enough.
How about
Don't care.
you just change you of how you present yourself to the person? How about you just change you? How about you work on you a little bit and present yourself to the person the way that you would like to be presented as,
Well, how about this?
instead of being somebody that you're not?
How about this? How about you just present your authentic self and hope that the person that has decided to be in your world is okay with who you are as your authentic self.
Yeah.
If they're not,
Exactly.
move on.
Yeah. That's
Don't
it.
try to change yourself to be the person you hope they like.
And do also understand that your authentic self might be different every day, because who you're showing up that different day
Depends
might
on
be a
the
little crazy.
well, it depends on the
But
environment
that's-
around you.
But that's that authentic self that continues to show up. People always
Exactly.
think authentic self, and then there's a level of
There's only one
creation.
person.
Yeah, no, that's whoever shows up at that moment. That's who you are.
Who you are in response to the stimulus the environment gives you
That
is
is authentic self.
your authentic self.
Yeah.
Who you're if you're showing up as the person you hope, and men and women alike do this. They show up with the hopes that you're going to like the person I'm trying to show you. I think you're going to like this person, so I'm based on all the things you've told me, so I'm going to show up as that. Well, if that ain't you, eventually you are coming out. And eventually you're going to have to leave your agent at home. And once your agent is at home, and that usually happens when you get comfortable, it happens in that time when, and it may not happen until you guys start living together. You want to find out who someone really is, take a trip with them.
There's no escape.
Take a trip with somebody,
Absolutely
and
no
not
escape.
just we going to Vegas for the weekend.
No.
Take a trip with somebody where you got to go through an airport, show a passport, have the stress of waiting on a plane that got delayed, check into a hotel, and you might not get the room that you ordered because smells like smoke. All these different things, and you see how people respond under stress for more than a day or two. Everybody can be on their best behavior for a weekend. Stay with somebody for a week, and both of you are in unfamiliar surroundings, and see how you respond. That right there will be like, shit. And don't think, oh, they're only acting this way because the situation wasn't the greatest. No, that's who they are. Because when you're at home, there's going to be days where shit's not going to be the greatest.
What we talked about.
You ain't going to be sitting by the pool in Cabo at Las Ventanas hoping that this is not every day. This is you sipping, coconut water and rum. Get home when you sipping on water and, you got the runs because you ate some bad shit on that vacation and she's right there next to you.
Right.
And you're being an asshole. That's who she needs to see.
Right.
And likewise, that whole shit you show us on social media, show us your authentic self. You ain't balling out of control. You ain't, I'm chasing my bag. I don't need a man. Oh, boy. Well, you can't expect me to want that woman.
Right.
I want the woman I want, but I may act like I want that woman because you're sexy as shit.
Damn, that wasn't my drink.
That's all right. The alcohol will kill it. Please, we used to eat bugs all the time. Right? Isn't that back? Our ancestors. Our ancestors used to eat bugs, man. Go ahead.
Oh, I'm done.
I think this is the first time y'all catching us lit on a podcast. It's okay.
Yeah, I think
We're
so.
good though. I think
so.
But hopefully you guys will understand the whole concept that you can't change anyone. People have to want to change themselves.
Right.
And there's no way around that.
Right. Now, if they ask you for help and they need your help, that they want to eat, and not even change, they want to evolve, you be there for them. You provide them information, but you don't tell them how to. You say, these are the opportunities.
Right. They're not going to ask you to help them change. They're going to say, what things have you noticed about me? Here's what I've noticed. Do you see this in me?
Right.
Here's where I want to get. Help. Are you willing to take this journey with me? Not, here's where I want you to be. Mm-hmm. How do I help you get to where I want you to be? Nah.
No.
Like, for example.
Because that's telling.
You meet a guy.
That's not sharing.
You meet a guy and he's not ambitious. But you're like, but if he's around me, he'll want to be ambitious. You're not changing that in him. If he doesn't want to be ambitious for himself, he's not going to want to be that for you. Sorry. But he's just, he's not motivated right now. He plays video games all day, but maybe he'll get a job if he's with me. No. He's not going to.
That's what the whole show Insecure is about.
Yep. Yep.
The whole show.
Shout out Yvonne. I see you, girl. She's going to be like, why are you shouting me out? Don't worry. Nobody knows why I know you.
All right, Taco.
No. She's cool people. But at the end of the day, man, people need to realize you got to want to, like I said, you got to want to change yourself.
Yeah.
You got to want to change yourself. And people, they say that cliche, be the change you want to see in the world. No, be the change you want to see in yourself. Forget the world.
And that will change the world.
Fix yourself, and it has a ripple effect because when you fix yourself, it fixes the world around you, which then fixes the world around them, which then fixes the world around them, and then it continues on.
It's matriculation.
All you can do is fix the world, your world around you. You can't fix the entire world. Shit, that's a problem. You can only fix your world. I can't fix Kenny's world. Kenny can't fix mine. But
don't want to.
He and I together in this relationship can be like, all right, we adapt to each other.
We not
and we
holding
grow.
hands though.
No. I'm just playing footsies under the table. Locking pinky toes.
That shit hurt.
But it's be your authentic self. Don't change. Just revert to who you are and let people see who you are so that way they can decide if that's the person they want to be with. The problem is, how do you ever know that they're being their authentic self? I don't know. Is there ever a way to tell?
But you know what? You asking that, a lot of people don't ever inquire about themselves with their friends.
Yeah.
Check with like some of your favorite people. Hey, what do you like best about me? What do you like about me? What do you think about me?
I got a question. For you, and you'll understand. It's not really a question. Men, we're honest as shit with each other.
Yeah.
Women are not honest with each other at all. And men can't be honest with women, but women will be honest with men.
Oh, yeah.
And the reason why, and y'all can beat me up for this one if you want, women can't handle the truth. You can't handle the truth. They don't. They don't want to hear the truth.
They don't want to hear the truth. No,
and so
I agree.
It goes back to what we said earlier. You just got to find a way to tell the truth without hurting feelings.
Yeah.
And so when we talk about, dudes amongst each other, we can tell you exactly the bullshit you're going through and be like, dude, you're kind of being a dick. Now, you can't tell your dude that in front of his woman. That you should never do.
Correct.
Don't degrade your boy. Don't make jokes about your boy. Don't talk shit about your boy in front of his girl. When it's y'all just hanging, you can talk all the shit you want. But don't ever do it in front of of his girl or in front of any woman. Is that because they pick up on it and immediately look at you different. If your boy says that about you, it must be true, even if it's not. And so men have no issues with telling other men their faults because we take it on the chin like, oh shit, all right, dude, your outfit's whack. We can say that to each other. Right. Hey, go change that shit. Go put on a pair of pants. Them boy shorts ain't working. But you can't tell a woman, hey, you look fat in them jeans. You can't do that. So our communications have to be different.
Oh, you trying to get cut.
Trying to get a shank in that kidney.
Oh, you trying to bleed out.
Right? But it's the truth.
It's the truth.
It's the truth. And so we have to learn how to be honest with one another. We have to know that it's okay to be your authentic self, but you have to learn who your authentic self is before you can be that person.
Right. And you have to know the levels that you're engaging with, the people that you're engaging with outside of, opposite sex.
Oh, for sure.
You have to know your levels.
For sure.
At the level 2, you got to start at level 1, my friend. And level 4 never gets made.
Dude.
Call it is what it is. Right? Level 4 will never get made talking to a woman.
Will never. Dude. Man.
I am tipsy and I'm going. I'm at Coach KJ Knows on Instagram.
Drunk AF. Coach KJ Knows on Instagram.
And CoachKJ.com. Where they gonna find you, Doc?
At Leonel Hunt on Instagram. At LEONEL Hunt on Instagram. You're gonna find me at huntspine.com. You'll find us both at SOE_podcast and at podcastsoe.com.
What is it called again?
Podcastsoe.com.
And you will find gnats in my drink.
Dude, check us out on YouTube. Every Saturday at 11 o'clock, we do a live mini podcast. Man, this was great.
But I'm out.